Jared in Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Hey, Jared, what's on your mind?
Hello, Tom. I want to start off the show by calling on all the Democratic candidates except for Bernie Sanders to drop out. Because at this point, it's fairly clear that Bernie has achieved a multi-coalition, multiracial, multi-generational, working class voting base that is unstoppable at this point.
I agree.
And if the candidates continue to stay in, at this point, they are being spoilers at this point.
Well, Jared, we're at a primary, and all of these candidates are entitled to continue competing in the primary. It's going to be up to the voters, and I think, and frankly, within 2 weeks, in less than 2 weeks, in about the next 10 days, we're going to know. Right, you're going to have South Carolina, and then right after that, you got Super Tuesday, and California comes in, and everybody else comes in, and it's going to be whatever it is, and we'll know, and then I think here in Oregon, I don't think we have our primary till April, isn't it, Sean? It's down the road, maybe even May. It's down the road, so we'll be probably pretty irrelevant, but this is going to happen fast. And the one thing, though, Jared, if I may respectfully push back, in the interest of seeing an actual progressive at the top of the ticket, we can't let this thing go to the second ballot at the DNC, because that's when the superdelegates come in. There are almost 800 superdelegates. A dear close friend of mine who is also way up in the Sanders campaign and also a member of the DNC and a superdelegate told me that the polling, the math is looking like, even as good as Bernie's doing right now, that when he gets to the convention, out of the roughly 4,000 delegates, he's going to need over 1,900. He's going to, I think it's around 3,800 total. He's going to need half plus one, right? He's going to need 51% or more than 50%. And that he may not have that, but he and Warren will. And if Warren drops out, it doesn't mean that all of her voters automatically go to Bernie. About half of her voters will go to somebody else. It's a Venn diagram, and there's an overlap, but it's not a complete one on top of the other thing, where the two circles lay right on top of each other. So what you'll have is a situation like we had in 2008, where in that primary, the principal players were Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. And when they got to the first round in the DNC, Obama needed Hillary's delegates, just like Bernie's probably going to need Warren's delegates. And so he reached out to Hillary and he said, "What do you want? I'd be glad to make you vice president. I'll give you whatever you want. Just give me your delegates." She said, "I want Secretary of State." They cut the deal and he became president, or he became the nominee and then he became president. Bernie, in all probability, is going to need Elizabeth Warren's delegates, and she can basically assign them to him. And, on the day of the convention before the first ballot, and cut a deal with him for whatever she wants. And I'm guessing she'd probably love to be either vice president or secretary of the Treasury or something like that. So, let's not ask for people to drop out, but let's ask everybody to get involved and get voting. Jared, thank you for the call. It's great to hear from you, as always.